Hello, my name is Michael Evans. This is Cards and Boards. So we got in a game the other day for as a review copy. So we're going to do a little something different. We're going to do a how to play video. Now, the game is called Pass. It's a simple little card game. It comes with five rules. It comes with five cards with rules. It has path cards in four colors: blue, yellow, green, and red. There are nine of each. There are eight. There are eight saves and four spikes. Now for setup. For setup, you just shuffle up your cards. And deal each player 12 cards. There's a version where if you're playing one-on-one, each player would get two sets of 12. Go over that later. So that is set up. Now to play, each player takes their cards and look at them. Now at this point, if you do not have any saves or any spikes, and you only have three of the same color, so if you have no saves, no spikes, and only have three of the four colors, you can call a mulligan, which means you can go and you basically have to shuffle up and deal again. So the person who shuffled takes their cards, chooses one of the path cards to play on their opponent. Like, say I shuffle, I play blue, I would play blue on my opponent. My opponent will look at his cards. Now, you don't show your opponent what cards you have, but he will look through his cards. He would play either a blue pass, a save, or a spike. If he plays a blue pass, then the opponent can then play can go play another blue, save, or pass. If my opponent had played a save, he could either count that as a blue, he could count or change it to another color. If my opponent played a spike, I have to either play a blue on my opponent, or I have to play a spike on my opponent. Now, if he did that, and I did not have any more blues, or I did not have any spikes, even if I have a handful of saves, I have to pass. What you're trying to do is play it until your opponent has to pass. If your opponent passes, if you make your opponent pass, you gain 3 points. However, if a player plays all the cards in his hand, he gets 6 points. Once that's done, if you would then go and shuffle up the cards, deal them out another 12, unless you're playing the more advanced rules, in which case you have two sets of 12. Each player would play the first set of 12. Once that hand is done, they set those cards aside and grab the other set of 12 and play till that's done. Then shuffle it up and keep going. Keep going until you hit 21 points, or if you or a predetermined amount of points beforehand. If you're playing if you're playing four players, if you're playing four players, each player would get 12, and it's four players is a team-based game. the two opposite players are teammates. Now, if you go again, you shuffle up your cards, deal out 12, and then the dealer would play to, like, say, if I were the dealer, I would play to either my opponent on this side or my opponent on this side. I would play a card. After that, my opponent would then have the opponent that I played the card on would then choose to either, like I say, if I played say it was me, player X, Richard Hovey, Richard Shilton. I played a blue on Richard Shilton. Richard Shilton would then choose to either play a blue on me, or a blue on me, or a blue on Richard Hovey, a spike on me, or a spike on Richard Hovey, or a save on their partner. Now, if he plays a blue on me or Richard Hovey, whoever he played it on would then choose to either play a blue on player X or Richard Shilton, play a spike on player X or Richard Shilton, or play a save on me. Now, so let's say Richard Shilton played a save on player X. Player X will then decide whether he wants to keep it blue or he wants to change the color. So those are his choices. He would then play the color that he chose on player X. Would then, like, say if he said to keep it blue, he would then play a blue on either myself or Richard Hovey. Or if he changed the color, he would change whatever, he would play whatever color it was on myself or Richard Hovey. Now let's say I played the blue pass on Richard Shilton, and Richard Shilton played a spike on me. I can no longer do save. Spike negates save. So what I have to do is I either have to play a blue on player X or a spike on player X, because when someone in a 4-player game, when someone plays a spike on you, you have to play to the other opponent. So that is how you play Pass. That is a quick rundown of how to play Pass. It's a very simple game. There is quite a bit more thought that goes into it than one might think when they first see it. But and we will be playing this fairly soon on Cards and Boards. We're doing a playthrough, and we're gonna. Richard Hovey and I are going to try to play enough that we can actually give an in-depth review, not just our opinions for playing it 1 or 2 times. If you like what you've seen, please like, subscribe, and comment. Also, you can join our Facebook group. Cards and Boards has a Facebook group. You can join that. Other than that, this has been Cards and Boards. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.